कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Vibhuti Yoga, this 10th chapter, as we have been seeing, is marvelous. Apart from teaching us about God's extraordinary, most supreme nature and all his glories, the chapter also has been delighting us with its poetry, with its wonderful ways of describing the Lord. In the 36th verse, which we saw last time, Sri Krishna said, of those who are into conspiracies, cheating, duping, getting others under their control somehow, in all those devious ways, I can be seen in the activity called gambling. Dyutam chalayatam. For it's in gambling that millionaires can become paupers and paupers can become millionaires too. It is so dramatic how fortunes change for those who get into gambling. Tejasvinamaham. Let's see how Sri Shankaracharya explains this. Dyutam Akshadevanadilakshanam. So Akshay is throwing dice, and probably Devana might be that act itself, or there might have been another game, another activity where people get into Akshadevana Adilakshanam, that is Dyutam. So gambling is of many kinds. You have so many machines nowadays, electronically controlled and whatnot, and those machines are used in today's gambling centers. Las Vegas in United States is known as I suppose, the biggest gambling place, but there is a lot of general entertainment. Those who don't gamble also go there for some fun, enjoyment. A lot of artists, singers, dramatists, the theater personalities, magicians, all kinds of fun are presented over there. But generally, it is also called the sin city. Sin. People commit sin there as though. Yeah, a certain number of people might be doing it surely. But otherwise, Las Vegas is some kind of a very, very big place of fun and entertainment, a tourist attraction too. There are many other, and they run what they call casinos. The casinos have gambling as one major activity. Tejaha chalayatam chalasya kartrunam, says Shankaracharya. Chala is deceiving, duping somebody. The opposite of simple, transparent, straightforward ways. In Prashnopanishad, there is a mantra, Nayeshu Jihma. There, Jihma means chala. Jihma is kapat. Kapata is another word where you are not straightforward. You deceive people by saying something while the truth is something else and you know it. So Prashna Upanishad says, whoever is completely free from jihma, from kapata, from falsehood, from devious ways, becomes eligible for the highest self-realization. Chalasya kartrunam aham yutamasmi, tejasvinam tejaha asmi. I am the brilliance in people who are brilliant in whichever domains. Among those who win, those who are victorious, I am their victory. Jayaha asmi, jetrunam. Those who are hardworking, those who work with great, sincere self-effort. Vyavasayinam aham vyavasayah asmi. And sattvam sattvatam aham. Sattvikanam. So, some places he has been mentioning categories of people or beings, could be birds also, as you know, could be rivers, but here it is certain quality or activity. There are many people having the quality of sattva, and that quality of sattva which makes them extremely balanced, intelligent, and great contributors in the truest sense of the word to society. I am sattva. This we saw in the last class. Now we proceed further in this class to 37th verse, where what is most interesting or most striking is Sri Krishna brings himself into the picture, himself meaning his particular avatar. In this avatar, Mahavishnu appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. So we read this 37. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjayah Muninamapyaham Vyasaha Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Sri Krishna is often called Varshneya. Arjuna is Kaunteya, Sri Krishna is Varshneya. For his Vansha, some places they call Yadu Vamsha. He is Yadava, but otherwise he is from the Vrishni clan. Etipanakara says, long ago there was a certain king called Madhu. In Madhu's dynasty, there came another eminent person called Vrishana. Vrishana. And those who were born later following Vrishana were called Vrishni. The word Vrishni therefore comes from Vrishana. And no wonder Sri Krishna is also called Madhava. Madhava is because before even Vrishana there was Madhu. Therefore, Madhu is the predecessor, Purvaja, and somebody born in Madhu's family is Madhava. Madhu is behind Madhava and Vrishana is behind the name Vrishni, and Lord Krishna took avatar in the Vrishni Vamsha. Vrishninam Vasudevosmi, and Vasudeva's son. And therefore, that particular manifestation using which or arising from where this Gitopadesha took place finds a mention in this 37th shloka. Therefore, if you think of Vrishni Vansha, come straight to Vasudeva, Varshneya, Sri Krishna, and say, oh, the Supreme Almighty appeared and appears, is available to us today also as Sri Krishna. Pandavanam Dhananjaya, of sons of Pandu, who are normally known as 5 Pancha Pandavaha. But as all of us know, there was one before these 5 were born, Karna. That way, they are Shat Pandavaha. Pandavanam Dhananjaya. During his many exploits, during many occasions where he went and conquered other countries, defeated other kings, Arjuna brought home a lot of money. Pujya Swami Chinmayananji used to humorously say, Arjuna used to get lot of foreign exchange to his own Hastinapura. He would just spice up the things, foreign exchange. I don't know whether that concept was there at that time. Surely gold and diamonds and many other forms of wealth would come to Hastinapura. But the use of the word foreign exchange is a little bit of imagination, creativity. As I said, it is to spice up the topic. Muninam api aham vyasaha, the unbelievably vast knowledge of Vedas that Vyasa had made him the selection here of Munis, of contemplative sages. I am Vyasa. Interestingly, in mathematics, you have a circle and the diameter of the circle is called Vyasa. For, as you know, connecting 2 points on a circle, if you were to find out when that connecting line is the longest, that is Vyasa. Diameter of a circle is the longest possible straight line between 2 points on the circle. Likewise, Vedavyasa had the largest amount of spiritual insights, Vedic knowledge. Therefore, he is picked up. Interestingly, Vyasa wrote this Bhagavad Geetā. Whatever Sri Krishna had spoken came down finally to this particular form, poetic form, as 700 stanzas, thanks to Vedavyasa. And the last one here is Kavinam Ushana Kavi. I am Ushana. We don't know much about Ushana, but certainly in those good old days, perhaps there was a certain poet who was admired. Later on, known to us in the history of relatively recent times, Kalidasa. Kalidasa, Bhasa, Bharavi, Upama Kalidasasya, Bharave Arthagauravam, Dandinaha Padalalityam, Maghe Santi Trayo Gunaha. This is a famous sloka. I have not studied a book where it appeared, but I have come across that quote at so many places. Eventually, I ended up memorizing it. Kalidasa is known for excellent metaphors. Bharavi, another kavi or writer, is known for putting in a whole lot of significance in the words that he would choose. And Dandi, another poet in Sanskrit, was known for beautiful combination of words with special charm, padalalityam. And in a certain context, the fourth poet, Magha, is praised as having all the three. Upama, Arthagaurava, and Padalalityam. All three. Trayas santi, Maghe santi, Trayo guna. But in those times of Mahabharata, apparently there was someone who is picked up here. Kavinam Kushana Kavi. Further we go to 38. In this chapter, having 42 verses, we are now coming to the close of this beautiful discourse. Sometimes the chapters are referred to as the 10th discourse, the 11th discourse, and so on. We have in the verse Shloka 38, Dando Damayatam Nitirasmi Jigishatam Maunam Chaivasmi Guhyanam Nanam Nanavatamaham. 4 more. Lot of people are good in bringing about discipline in their organizations, in their families, in their countries, and wherever. They are able administrators, wonderful leaders. They know when to praise and when to get hard on someone, when to restrain, when to let loose. So the context of punishing, reprimanding is of great importance in management. Some decades ago, 2 authors of United States wrote the book, 1 Minute Manager. That book was such a bestseller. I guess I too had read it, if not fully, some pages. The 1 Minute Manager. And the authors had 3 pointers. To be excellent managers, you got to do these 3 things. And those 3, let me try to remember. 1 minute praise, 1 minute reprimand, and 1 minute of praise, reprimand, and goal setting. 1 minute of clarifying what the goal, what the purpose, what the work is meant for. So imagine a manager goes around checking the work of people under him or under her. And once he sees that some work was given to somebody, but this person is doing something else. He is not doing the work given to him. Or he seems to be doing the work given to him, but it has taken a different direction, not the desired objective. Then the effective manager, taking only 1 minute, therefore the title, taking just 1 minute says, look, we want you to focus on such and such activity. That is the outcome we desire from you. Like you have given someone job of, let's say, in some little function, you've given the job of providing food to all the participants of a program. In the middle of the program or at the end of the program, all should get food to eat. That was the goal given to him. And this worker is working day and night, busy running around. And if the manager notices that this fellow is running around, no doubt, but he is busy putting up banners, he is busy replying emails, he is busy bringing some stationery and putting in the hall. So then the manager says, look, come here. What was the job given to you? We had a meeting. We decided that you will take care of what? He says, I am supposed to organize food that day. What are you doing? Activities related to food, or you are getting into everybody else's business and not minding your own business. So 1 minute goal setting, 1 minute of praise. A good manager at right times, right places should praise, should appreciate good work being done so that the morale of the workers rises. And as applicable to this line, Dando Damayatam reprimanding. Someone is doing something totally different or even something harmful to the organization. Then the manager chastises him. If you continue to do this, you will be fired. Here it is punishment itself that is mentioned. Therefore, of those who do such administration where there is restraining, holding people back from undesirable activities, that very punishment, that very form of being hard on those workers who have lost the direction is me. I am dandaha. Dandaha is punishment. Jigishatam. Jigishatam comes from the verbal root ji jayati, to win. Ji jayati means somebody wins. From that root you derive what is called a desiderative, sannanta it is called. That becomes jigishati. Jigishati means jetum ichchati. One wants to win, just as there are so many desideratives. Karoti, one does. Chikirshati, one wants to do. Knows, janati, knows. Jidnasati, wants to know, desires to know. There are so many of them. That's a grammar topic. Jigishati means one is desirous of victory. Sri Krishna says, when desire to win rises in you, there is a high likelihood of your adopting unethical practices in your eagerness to win. And therefore it is said, among those who are desirous of winning, holding on or sticking to ethical means, ethical ways, niti. Otherwise it is anaitika, unethical. So see, morality. Morality in Bhagavad Geetā, suppose is a topic where you apply your mind, you will find it scattered around across all the chapters, but in 10th chapter, Niti is mentioned. Niti. As you know, Bhartrhari wrote Niti Shatakam, 100 verses on ethics, on morality, on living rightly, on not compromising with the cardinal values of Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, etc. Thirdly, in this shloka, there is a wonderful pointer. Of all the secrets in the world, I am silence. When somebody is silent, others don't know what's going on in his mind. If he speaks, if he does some gestures, yes, but somebody is sitting quietly. No words. Maunam chaivasmi guhyana. And mauna, I need not elaborate here, has great importance in spiritual practices. Action, speaking, going round, etc., may have some charm, but to reach higher levels of spirituality, every one of us has to learn to keep quiet. For a little time here, for a little time over there, we must sit quietly. If we have a busy life, a busy schedule, then you have to find ways. Probably we are going from one place to another. One activity is over and you are going. Somebody is driving and you are sitting, let us say, as an example. Then use that travel time to just sit quietly. Use the time before you go to sleep. When you lie on your bed and you are yet to get sleep, rather than thinking about various matters of the world, just be silent. Maybe repeat God's name. Maybe observe your own breathing. For heaven's sake, do not initiate any thought. Thoughts come on their own, that's another matter. But you yourself should not initiate any thought. When you are sitting with a few friends, or they may talk, but you have the option to remain silent. You and I have to again and again be aware. Five of us are sitting. Am I talking all the time? And when I become aware, yeah, not letting anybody else talk, I'm speaking. Then we have to go for mauna. And then even if others ask us to stop, we say, no, you tell something. Let me hear you now. And so on. Once a bunch of, I think, how many? Maybe 10 or 11 of us met Eknath Ishwaran in a town near Petaluma, north of San Francisco. A bunch of about 10 to 11 of us. Swami Tejamanandi, Swami Ishwarananda, myself, Brahmacharani, Robin Thompson, Ramji Lodhia, Lalita Lodhia, and so on. Some 10 or 11 of us, 2 or 3 cars. We went, we had taken appointment. For me, that was my second visit. Later on, I did a third visit also to Eknath Ishwaran, who was a wonderful speaker, teacher, writer on Bhagavad Geetā and other works. Quickly to mention, one thing I noticed was he was not going on talking. He made some kind inquiries, listened to us, and then above all, in the 45 minutes we must have spent there, I noticed that there was not a single member of our 11-member group with whom he did not have a little interaction. Some young girl was sitting behind. He would reach out to her. Where do you come from? What are you doing? Then he would turn to another gentleman, another person. At the end of it all of them came out so satisfied because the well-known speaker, pretty popular and highly regarded, gave attention to them. So such attention to people outside, to things outside, and in higher spirituality, gentle attention to the way the self, the ego operates in us is possible if we have quality of mauna. Maunam chaivasmi guhyana, of all secret, confidential things, and jnanam jnanavatam. I am jnana, I am the wisdom among the wise. So let's see how Sri Shankaracharya elaborates. He's pretty brief in this. Dandaha damayatam damayitrunamasmi. And why should anybody punish anyone else? Well, somebody under you is not exercising the required self-control. So Shankaracharya writes, Adantana. Danta, like there is the word Shanta. Shanta is the adjective going with Shama or Shanti. And Danta is the adjective that goes with Dama, especially Indriya Nigraha. Those who have no control on their appetites of the senses need to be here and there reprimanded, punished, brought back to track. Adantana, Damarahitana, Mityartha. Nitirasmi jigishatam, jetumichatam, nitihi asmi. I've explained it. Guhyanam Shankara gives a synonym, Gopyanam. Gopyanam aham maunam, jnanam jnanavatam. I am wisdom among those who have knowledge. In a beautiful shloka praising Sri Ramana Maharshi, Ganapati Muni says, Ramana Maharshi knew the wonderful discourse, which is speech of Vishnu, who came as Sri Krishna, that is reference to Bhagavad Geetā, and Ramana Maharshi also knew the Mauna, Maunam Chaivasmi Guhyanam. He knew the silence of Lord Shiva. Vishnu gave a wonderful, unparalleled discourse, that's Gita. And Shiva delivered not words, silence, Dakshinamurti. Khagavahana bhashita tattvavida, Vrishavahana mauna rahasya vritha. Vrishavahana, Shiva, who rides on a Nandi bull, Mauna, he remained silent in Dakshinamurti's form. Khagavahana, Vishnu who goes on Garuda, a bird, gave those excellent revelations in Bhagavad Geetā. So Mauna is of great importance. Some Ramakrishna Mission Swamiji had written long back a book called Silence as Yoga. Look up and try to get that. That Swami has elaborated on how practicing silence can also be a form of spiritual practice. Silence as yoga. Yacchapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadahamarjuna na tadasti vina yat syat maya bhutam characharam. There's a double negative in the second half. Maya vina, without me, then na asti, there is nothing. Nothing is without me. So without me is one negation, nothing is another negation. Maya vina kinchidapi na asti. I pervade the entire creation. Do you mean living beings? Not just living beings, living and non-living, and moving and non-moving. Chara acharam. By negating any possibility of something existing without God being present in them, to put it in the positive language, God says, I am 100% all-pervasive. Yacchapi sarva bhutanam bijam. I am the seed. Shankaracharya says seed means praroha karanam, what makes possible growth, because seed grows. Sometimes you are starting a business and are not having the necessary funds, then the government or some philanthropic organization or some very good donor gives you some initial money with which you can start. And then you got to grow. And such money, as you may be familiar with, is called seed money. Universities are given seed money to launch a new course, to launch some new project. Seed money. Later on, the university has to find ways to earn, maybe by charging fees to students, maybe or maybe by going on a donation or funding, fundraising campaign. But initially, seed money. There is this expression. Bijam tadahmar. So you and I are growing materially and spiritually. We are growing. What makes possible our growth is God's grace. If we have arrived somewhere, if we have got better over the years, if we have let go of negative qualities in us, if we have imbibed and stabilized ourselves in certain noble qualities, it is God's grace. So in various ways, spiritual growth is made possible by God. Therefore, aham bijam. Adi Shankara says, Yacchapi sarvabhutanam bijam praroha karanam tat aham Arjuna. Tat aham, that I am. Bija is praroha, the cause of growth. I am the catalyst. I make the whole progress, the growth, the development happen faster than otherwise. Prakarana upasamharartham vibhuti sanshepamaha. In this shloka 39, Bhagavan Sri Krishna already begins to wind up this entire topic, vibhuti. Prakarana upasamhara. Upasamhara is conclusion. Upakrama is starting. Upakrama, upasamhara are a pair of words. And that's one of the 6 lakshanas of determining What is the central teaching? Tatparya nirnaya vishaye upakrama upasamharo pratamam lakshanam bhavataha. They become the first criterion together. So upasamharartham vibhuti sanksepamaha. In summary, the second half of the shloka says, natadasti bhutam characharam charam acharam va maya vina yat syat. As I pointed out, without me, nothing is. Nothing is possible. That means, maya apakrishtam parityaktam. Suppose in anything looking great, you were to remove God. Himalayas are the greatest glory among mountains. Remove God from Himalayas. Himalayas would collapse. Himalayas would cease to exist. Maya apakrishtam. Apakarshana is taking away. Parityaktam. God leaves Ganga, let us say. Ganga vanishes. Ganga cannot be without God. As many of you know, at the end of Mahabharata war, everything was over on the last day, at last moment. And Arjuna says, Sri Krishna, get down. Sri Krishna doesn't get down, doesn't get out of the chariot. Sri Krishna insists that Arjuna get down first. Finally, okay, Arjuna says, all right. He gets down, walks a couple of steps away. Then Sri Krishna gets down and walks one step away from the chariot. Moment Sri Krishna leaves the chariot, oh, what a tragic scene. The entire chariot collapses, goes to pieces. Arjuna is shocked. What happened, Sri Krishna? Why has the chariot collapsed now? Then Sri Krishna smiles. It was with my power, my special forces, that in spite of so many thousands of arrows hitting your chariot, I had held it in one piece. And maybe every evening he would recite a mantra or he would do something, so it remains same. Next morning again he gets in. His presence in the chariot ensured that the chariot remained in one piece. And at the end of war, he withdrew that special grace from the chariot. He gets down and withdraws his protection. The chariot falls in pieces. If Krishna had got down first, the chariot would have collapsed and Arjuna would have been hurt very badly. So, what a symbolic, what a powerful message. We have God with us, we are with God, we are able to be up and moving. If God were to be removed from us, maya apakrishtam parityaktam va sarvam niratmakam bhave. Then it doesn't have its own inner soul. The soul is taken away. Shunyam hi tatsya. It will become void. It will become zero. If you and I are doing well in any matter, we are heroes. That is thanks to God making it possible. But if God is not there, a moment ago we were heroes, and a moment later God has left us. We are zero. Shunyam hi tatsya tadaham adatmakam sarvam ityartha. Therefore, Eknath Ishwaran wrote a book, a collection of passages for meditation, and he titled it very nicely, God makes the rivers to flow. God makes the rivers to flow. God makes the speakers to speak, singers to sing, engineers to do their engineering work, doctors to do their medical work in a nice way. Anything and everything happening in this phenomenal universe is made possible by God. Eyes cannot see the truth, But the truth makes the eyes see many things. Ears cannot hear any sound, but God makes the ears hear. Yat shrotrena na shrutam, yena shrotram shrutam. Or, as Kena Upanishad has a string, yad vacha anabhyuditam, yena vagabhyudyate, tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, nedam yadidam upasate. So that is the beautiful vision. Therefore, please do not think of this 10th chapter as merely some poetry and some some nice descriptions of various categories of existence. This 10th chapter has a powerful message that there is God in this universe, in every nook and corner, and for our convenience, we may see Him in eminent personalities or some extraordinary aspects of the creation. But actually, He is in the great ones, He is in the ordinary ones. He is in the big elephant, He is also in the crawling ant. He is everywhere. Thus, a study of this chapter helps us appreciate God's greatness. Therefore, it is all about helping us develop more devotion to Him. In the 40th verse, again continuing his summarizing, he says, Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa yeshatu uddeshata prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. Arjuna, really, there is no end to my glories. However, uddeshataha proktaha, some I have selected and described here. Deliberately, I have condensed it all. I have made some selections. Otherwise, it is ananta. Na antaha asti. Mama divyanam vibhutinam antaha na asti. He parantapa. Praising Arjuna by calling him, you are the one who scorches your enemies. And whatever I have said here, for lack of time, is deliberately, uddeshataha, certain selected portion, vibhutehe vistaro mama. Acharya Shankara says, na antaha mama divyanam vibhutinam vistaranam parantapa. Simple. Nahi ishwarasya sarvatmanaha divyanam vibhutinam iyatta shakya vaktum. Iyat in Sanskrit means this much. Iyatta is being that much. It is this much. We can't ever say. We can say that about anything else. Even huge wealth, huge properties, huge amount of knowledge can all be measured. This man has so many thousands of billions of dollars, maybe, or rupees. Though it is such a huge figure, but it is iyat iyatta. This muchness. That iyatta is not possible. That limited measurement, something measured up to there and not beyond, that is not possible about Ishvara's vibhuti. Uddeshataha, Shankara takes the word uddeshata not as deliberate. I said deliberate because we often use the word uddesha or uddeshya in many of our Indian languages. In Sanskrit also it has that meaning. But Shankaracharya says uddeshataha means ekadeshena. In Sanskrit, ekadesha means a certain part. Ekadesha is part, whereas samagram is the whole. So you want to show somebody the city of Ahmedabad, but there's only 2 hours time. You go to one or two selected portions And by then, time is up. Then you say, Maya Ahmedabad Nagarasya Ekadesha Adya Darshitaha. I have shown you a part of Ahmedabad. Come again. I will take you around and show you more of this city. Ekadesha means part. It is not one country. Because I myself, some 25, 30 years ago, first came across Ekadesha. I thought it is Ekadesha, one country, because Desha is country. That's why in any language, it is continued association that helps us know the meanings of words. Ekadesha. Another example is when the word Anya came, my mind first thought Anya means other. But in Sanskrit, Anya is used as other also. Suppose you talk about your three brothers. One is Ramesha, another is Suresha, another is Mahesha. You say Ramesha mama ekaha bhrata, anyaha Sureshaha, tadapi or punarapi anyaha Maheshaha or you give the name anyaha other, another. But when you use the word anyatara and anyatama, anyatara means one of the two. Anyatama means one of three or more. Let's say there are 5 girls standing at a distance, and you say, please note that one wearing red sari, panchasu narishu eka raktavarnam sarikam sarikaya dharanam karoti. Panchasu anyatama, one among the 5, anyatama. Mama duhita, she is my daughter, you say. So anyatama has nothing to do with other over there. So there are some such usages of words. Esha ekadeshena proktaha, of infinite amount of glory that applies or that is that's mine. I have given a little part. I personally love this 41st verse a lot. For a long time I have been, you take 10th chapter, I remember this shloka. Let me read. 41st shloka says, generalizing everything, wherever you see something wonderful, something marvelous, something extraordinary, know that to be God expressing over there. God's glory is expressing in a certain person, certain place. So that is said here, yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam shrimadurjitameva va tattadevavagachatvam mama tejonsha sambhavam. Yad yad. In Indian languages, when you repeat a certain word, like yatatra tatra means at all those places, and adjectives, many words are repeated. So yad yad, when you repeat, it covers a spectrum, it covers a range, in a wide range of things that we see in the universe. Yad yad vibhutimat. Vibhutihi asyasti iti vibhutimat. That which has some remarkable glory. Whatever is glorious. Secondly, Srimat. Vibhutimat, having vibhuti. Srimat, having Shri. Shri means wealth. Shri Shankaracharya says Shri is Lakshmi. Srimat therefore is Lakshmi Van. Somebody who has a lot of wealth is Shriman. Srimat becomes Shriman in masculine and Srimati in feminine. That is this neuter masculine feminine differences. Here neuter form is used. Vibhutimat, Srimat, Sattvam, anything that exists. Urjitam, having extra energy. Urja in Hindi also means energy. Urjitam. Urjitameva. Arjuna, please know that without looking left or right, to be a little bit, a little portion of my infinite glory. Avagaccha means janihi. Avagaccha means please know. Avagaccha. Gam is to go, but moment you add the upasarga ava, it is to know. Tat tad eva avagaccha. Yad yad and tat tat. They are a pair. Even indeclinables like yada yada paired with tada tada. Yada yada means whenever. Tada tada means then. In all those times. Yatra yatra, tatra tatra, yad yad, tatta. Tattadeva avagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. It is all from a little portion of my radiance, my kanti. Yadyad loke vibhuti mat vibhuti yuktam sattvam vastu. Sattvam means vastu here. Srimad urjitameva Shrihi Lakshmihi Taya Sahitam. Tippanakar rightly says that Srimad should have been followed by Shrihi Lakshmihi Taya Sahitam, and the word Urjitam should have come later, because Srimad should be explained and Urjitam should be explained. But in the sequence here, in the printed available publications, Srimad Urjitam are taken together, then Sri is explained. Generally, one word is taken, explained, and then the next word is taken. So, Srimad is Shri, he means Lakshmi, goddess of wealth, Taya Sahitam. Urjitam means Utsahopetam. Urjitam means full of enthusiasm, energy, full of life. Know all that. Tattadeva avagachatvam janihi. Mama means who? Ishwarasya, the ultimate God. Tejonsha Sambhavam, Tejasaha Anshaha Ekadesha. See again the Ekadesha came. Not one country. Ekadesha means a small part. Sambhavaha. So all of them rise from a little bit of my glory. Last but not the least, the shloka 42 brings the chapter to a close. Athava bahunaitena kim jnatena tavarjuna विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकान्तेन स्थितो jagat. Athava, alternatively, let me put it this way, says Sri Krishna. Of what use is going on and on, words and words? Bahuna etena kim? What is to be achieved? What is to be achieved by bahuna jnatena? By simply knowing more and more horizontally, go vertically into greater depth. I hold the entire creation in its place, keep it running, vishtabhya, holding it, supporting it, like a stamba, a pillar supports the ceiling and maybe an upper floor also. A stamba is a pillar. So vishtabhya comes from the same root which is involved in stamba. Stambi bhutva, like pillar. I support and hold Kritsnam Jagat, the entire universe. Ekanshena sthita. And I do that not bringing into the picture the whole of myself. The whole of myself is not required to, to keep this universe in place. Just as Sri Krishna in one of his Leelas did not hold Govardhana mountain with both his hands. He held the Govardhana Giri with just one finger. Govardhana Giridhari. And Shankaracharya quotes Purusha Sukta also in this. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Bhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishta Dashangulam and so on. Over there is another line. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. 1/4 of that Supreme Purusha appears as this apparently infinite universe. Tripadasyamrito divi, that is a line. 3/4 remain unseen. There is unspent amrita. 1/4 expresses as this entire universe. So let's see the Bhashya itself. Bahuna etena evamadina kim jnatena tava Arjuna kim syat savasheshena. Because after saying everything again, much more remains. Avashesha means something remains. Asheshataha tvamimam uchyamanam artham shranu. If in one sweeping statement I need to say the whole, Asheshana means the whole. All this which I have said so far put together, as an expression goes in English, is a drop in the bucket. Now, to tell you in a certain way where the whole thing is meant, it is like this. This entire creation is supported by me by involving just a little part of mine. Vishtabhya Visheshataha Sthambanam Dridam Kritva, making it stable. It should not slip off and get damaged. Krishnam Jagat Ekanshena Eka Avayavena. Avayava is again a limb. Your hands are your avayavas. Your legs are your avayavas. Avayava means limb or part. Or a little part. Eka Padena Sarvabhuta Swarupena. In his true nature, Swarupa, he is everything. But over here, by just engaging a part, the universe is supported. Tatacha mantravarnaha. Mantravarnaha is often an expression used to indicate a certain Vedic portion. Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Amritam Divi. That is Purusha Sukta. Purusha Sukta is said to be found in all the 4 Vedas with slight differences. In the Bhashya that I have with me here, in brackets it is given Rigveda and the number, maybe 10th mandala, 8th section, 90th subsection, and then the 3rd mantra. So Rigveda has Purusha Sukta, Yajurveda also has, with slight changes. Samaveda, Atharvaveda also has. Stitahaham. Thus comes to an end this 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Geetā. All that which is said in this chapter is to help us remember God, fix our mind in Supreme God with more ease. If we are not exposed to all these descriptions, all these clarifications, we might say, I believe in God, but we have no idea what we are talking. And our mind easily goes to worldly things. But to be God-centered, to live a God-centered life, we need to have greater and greater understanding, appreciation, admiration of God. This 11th chapter, or 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, does that job very successfully. In this way, the Bhashya also is completed. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Geetayam Vibhuti Yogo Nama Dashamodhyayaha. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Geetā Bhāshye Vibhuti Yogo Nama Dashamodhyayaha pi samaptaha. Mule Bhashye cha Dashamaha Adhyayaha samaptaha. Here we conclude the discourse on 10th chapter. As all of you know, I have begun a tour of the United States and I have a very hectic schedule. Otherwise, also in a year, 1 or 2 months, sometimes we leave as a break. But all the more, because of this very hectic tour where I am meeting a lot of people, giving lectures and associated activities. We are going to have a break. So entire May and June, we will not have these online Gita classes. Next Gita class would be in India, Wednesday, July 2nd, and in the West, it will be Tuesday evening, July 1. So the first Wednesday, Tuesday fair, it will start again. Till then, let's spend time in our own self-study, reflection, review, and so on. May Lord Sri Krishna's grace and blessings be upon every one of you, every one of us. Harihi Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Harihi Om Harihi Om